Welcome back, guys. It is great to have you here where you get every day early from Monday to Sunday video updates about the price of Bitcoin, the price of altcoins, so that you get ready for the markets. So if you want to be part of our community, just go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It is free. You don't have to pay anything. And after that, I just say, let's go ahead and get started with the chart analysis, okay? So we're going to be looking at the 4-hour chart where it looks like not much is happening, but we do have a new pattern, and that is a falling wedge. So you can see it here where we've been having some trouble getting past the top line. We've had some resistance throughout here, some here, and some here again at the bottom. And this means a falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern, has formed, and it has a higher probability that it will break out towards the upside. Our support area can be seen here at the 41,200 US dollar line, and basically right here where this white line is, which has held until now, and we can see it held nicely, and it gave us a bounce last night all the way up to 42,600 US dollars, and then we finished the day with a small consolidation phase. So what's important now for Bitcoin is to be able to break out to the upside of our falling wedge, possibly with the retest here, and then chances are very high that we come into this area here, which is our first resistance zone. This is what's important when we look at our smaller time frames. That's these two highs we've had here, which were very strong, meaning we had a strong rejection here, then a massive sell downward, which means Bitcoin has to be able to break out of this important resistance, which is right around $44,500 and $44,100. Also on the 15-minute chart, we can see that is indeed the case. We've always found ourselves in this resistance at the top of the trend. That is why it's super important for today that we keep our eyes open for that. This range in which we've been playing for a while now, that is a range of about 1,000 US dollars. And of course, Bitcoin might keep bouncing up and down this range before we do break out to the upside. And I personally think that the chances of breaking out of this falling wedge pattern are actually very good. Also, if we take a look at the liquidations for the last 12 hours, look at that. In the last 12 hours, there have been lots of long liquidations, right? But if we take a look at the 4-hour liquidations, then the picture is completely different, because in the last 4 hours, we've had more short liquidations than long positions. So if we go back in here into our chart, we can see a very, very strong battle between the bulls and the bears. So now let's have a look at what we have on the bigger time frames on our daily chart. Yesterday I posted something about on my Twitter account about this, and so here we can see that we've had some very strong resistance here, also here again, and also now down here. So Bitcoin battles currently on the daily chart for a break out of our resistance line. One could even say that we are currently forming a double bottom here, if you will, and this is something I mentioned previously that it could happen. And on the 4-hour chart, we see it even clearer. Just take a look at it, how we've always tested the resistance line, and now again we find ourselves here at around 42,000 US dollars, which means if Bitcoin breaks out of the $42,500 and starts to climb higher, I assume that we could test our target price of 44,400 US dollars, which is our last big resistance before we make our final break out to the 45,000 to 46,000 US dollar line, and this important resistance area here. So now let's take a look at the fear and greed index, which has not changed in a while. It actually remained at 24 points, and it actually means that there's still a lot of doubt in the market. It was like that in May through July last year, and it's the same now since December. So please just take a moment to leave me your thoughts and your comments below. I'd be very interested to know what you all think, how long we're going to be staying in this consolidation period. I also wanted to share some news or information about Intel. They have started to work or have been working on a new Bitcoin miner or a new chipset that should actually make mining more environmentally friendly. And it should drastically sink the use of energy it takes to mine Bitcoin. And so that's very, very interesting news that are supposed to pan out sometime in March or April this year. And probably a lot of miners are going to be jumping into this new technology and implement it into their operations. So now let's have a look at Ethereum, where we actually see a very nice rebound at the price at just about 3,000 US dollars. And I've already mentioned before that this would be our support area. We've also had this double top here, and if we measure the target price for the double top, it actually takes us perfectly to our support line at the bottom. And that of course was the target of our M top here. And we also formed a rising wedge, which was sort of the nail in the coffin that took us all the way down, but had its target price met here at the middle, and then it took us down all the way to the bottom. Really very interested to see if we did form a double bottom, and if Ethereum is going to form this new W pattern that will take us hopefully to new heights. Keep an eye out for that. So for the smaller time frames as well as for the entire day, let's hope that we do get past this price of $3,157 right here. We have to leave this area, see a retest before we continue the climb, and we find our first hurdle here at $3,250. And then it would be interesting to see if we do break out of this resistance zone where we've already seen rejection before, and there was a big resistance for the market. Now let's take a quick look at what Cardano is doing. We see that we've had a very, very good climb upward, but it got quickly sold. So for Cardano, I would be very, very careful taking a position right now. For those who are gold members, they took home a nice profit here. Now we just have to wait and see what happens, because we have a very, very strong downtrend. I mean, really, really strong, which you can see here. And so long as we don't get out of here on the 4-hour chart, we are not really going to see any climb upward to previous prices unless we do so. If you want to get information like this on the go, you can join my group on Telegram, which of course at the moment is in German, but there you can find very important information that I post daily about possible market moves or trends. I also post chart analysis, for example, like the one that you see here. And also, just do it if you feel like it. You can find the description or the link in the description. And of course, it is completely free and it's very useful. Last but not least, let's have a look at Bitcoin's short and long positions. Something that when I look at this actually stands out to me right away is that the long positions have started to slightly climb up. This is something that we see, of course, on the daily chart, but also in the 4-hour chart, we can see that again, a lot of long positions have started to or have been open recently. But when we do look at the shorts, the short positions, we also see that they have been growing in a very strong contrast to the longs. We can see that here. And, the short positions have grown quite a bit in some time. So we do have to be careful. But I mean, when we look at the longer time frames, the reality is that the picture is not as heavy as we think, at least for now. When we something like this, or when we see something like this here, this little spike that we had here, for example, then we can see what the market will do. But at the moment, we're just really not there yet. We do, however, have to keep an eye out in this regard, and I will try to keep you guys informed. So let's just see what happens in this, in this little falling wedge today. And of course, here there's some good trading possibilities for those who might want to do so. So anyway, guys, just stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and I think that's all for today. I'm Basti. Cheers.